Shockwave, do you want a pocket-sized predator?
Well, I'm going to need an alien.
You fool!
Crankcase was originally a Decepticon trigger con that, I guess, tripped into a dark pit and now he's not invited to children's parties. In Dark of the Moon, Crankcase was part of a crazy wild team of Decepticons known as the Dreads. You might recognize them for their demonic style, or for some reason they have hair. I mean, Wreck-Gar could pull off a goatee, but there's limits. Despite stepping away from the original style, it was pretty insane looking, and the intricate design of the Bay films actually help in that respect, with these jagged edges going everywhere. Crankcase was the only Dread from the Dark of the Moon toy line to feature a full-size figure, but still stuck around to the newly made Cyberverse line. But how did he do? Crankcase in alt mode transforms into a Chevy Suburban, like the film animation model. I'm vastly impressed with the detail on this tiny figure, right down to the Chevy logo on the front. Some of the panel lines break it up a bit, but it won't take long to get the general idea. Paint is sparse, but that makes sense given the security vehicle theme. He can blend in the shadows and pounce at you at any second. Wait, where did he go? I can't find him. Someone get the lights! Oh, sorry, I misplaced them. There's paint on the sirens, just a little on the tip. Don't take that out of context. Silver and gold on the headlights, which is a surprise, and silver Decepticon logos on the side. Isn't this a predicament? Wheels roll fine for its size, and while there's no paint on the back, I do appreciate that there's no kibble hanging off the underneath of the van. Crankcase in alt mode is perfectly plain in the right regions, but lovably enjoyable with a little more detail work than you might think. With that, robot mode. Crankcase in robot mode is, probably good with kids. Damn, he has an evil presence. Or at least he did until they mushed his face in Photoshop. I don't know if they couldn't get the details right in the size, or they had to modify it, but it looks like a B-movie animated ripoff of The Predator. At least the eyes are painted in, and he does have the dreads, but they're so short that he just looks like he's got pigtails. Pippi Longstocking after a dark ritual. Did someone say articulation? Ball jointed shoulders, ball jointed hips, and hinged knee. He's not the most poseable, but he's a Legion class figure. Give him some credit. You can move the lower leg joint if you want, and yes, he does have arms molded in. I know it looks like wings, but he's not a bird. His bulbils seem to stick out pretty far, and his shoulders look weird given how the figure comes together, but I think he's got giant shoulder spikes. I think that's what it is, either that or leftover window parts. You can open this up if you want. He doesn't have weapons, but in one hand he can hold Cyberverse accessories. I guess maybe the spikes are weapons, but you can disagree with that. It's a toy, it's whatever. I love the design of the legs, and the abdomen detail looks pretty good. I'm not sure if he needs more copper. He's certainly lacking in paint to pick out the details, but the lack of it helps his shadowy, unnatural, dark presence. Crankcase is a very simple figure, but he really gets the job done. He's a little rascal you can have running around causing mischief. Perfectly imperfect, but for the right reasons. Demonic in stature, but playful. If you're into the size, or you just want a terrifying critter, I'd say Crankcase is pretty decent, like a gremlin, or Pokemon, or Minecraft Creeper.